I wanted to welcome you all. So, hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We're really happy to be here with you. We always really appreciate it when you take time out of your day to learn about our properties. So, we appreciate you doing that with us today. Today, we're going to be talking about the iconic Villa d'Este and Villa La Massa. Of course, Villa d'Este, with 150 years of elegance, has beautiful grounds, has beautiful gardens, has amazing views, beautiful classic rooms and suites, an incredible property. And Villa La Massa, which is just outside of Florence, offers a very unique, lovely experience with also beautiful grounds and a beautiful property to enjoy. So you're going to be glad that you're with us today because we have some amazing updates. There was just a press release that was put out for Villa d'Este. So we have some amazing updates that Natalia from Villa d'Este, who is here with us today, is going to be telling you about. As always, with all of our webinars, don't forget to put your questions and answers in the question and answer section that we'll definitely refer to towards the end so that we can make sure we answer all your questions. So stay tuned for those answers, which will be at the end of the presentation. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Natalia. Natalia?
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Heidi. It's great to do this together with you. And I'm delighted to have everybody. And thank you so much for participating. And for those of you that you didn't have a chance to do it live, you're probably going to see the video later. I am a little stressed because there is so much, to tell you. And there is some exciting news indeed. So let me start. So I'm Natalia, Assistant Director of Sales here for Villa d'Este Hotels. Actually, since a week, it's a Villa d'Este La Collezione. So this is the biggest news that we wanted to present today, and just tell you a little bit before we're gonna jump into details for Villa d'Este and Villa La Massa. So about 2 weeks ago, we did officially a press release, has been a press conference dedicated to Villa d'Este La Collezione. La Collezione is going to be a 4 properties, quite iconic, 3 of them located on the Lake Como. 2 of them you're extremely familiar with, and 1 of them I'm pretty sure that a lot of you are already working with or you probably heard about. So the first picture that we're looking at on the top is the famous Villa d'Este. So I know you're very familiar with this one, but there's going to be a couple of news about the property as well. So I'm quite excited as we go along with the presentation. The other picture that we're looking at is actually our newest purchase. So officially, we're the owners of another hotel in the city of Como. So it is front lake property overlooking the Lake Como, but located in the city of Como. Whoever books Como and been here, you're probably very familiar with that secondary city in Italy. It's a beautiful town, beautiful city itself, but it's not so big, and it is, and it is medieval city. So actually quite interesting. We're looking here at the purchase that we called Palazzo Venezia, but you know it perhaps as a Vista hotel in Como. So basically, it's an 18-bedroom property that we took over. We're taking officially over from the 1st of December, and on the 6th of December, we officially running it. Okay, so 18 bedrooms and suites located in the heart of city of Como, in front of the lake. It's already a leading hotel. It will be most probably Amex because it stays Amex. So we're doing everything, I'm overlooking actually that process. We're going to be doing everything that we can to put it in a portfolio of Virtuoso, Select, Internova, and also Signature. So whoever of you is affiliated, you're going to have the assurance of the service, for the moment that we're going to participate in those networks. And I will be keeping you obviously posted about. Now, the properties, the 2 pictures down that we're looking at is the Miralago apartments, luxury apartments. So this part is coming on board as well. Very exciting. We took over a property, 4-star property called Miralago. Believe it or not, but the owner of that that building used to be our maître in La Veranda restaurant. He owned that hotel after he retired. He actually made it a 4-star hotel, run it within his family. And the moment he decided to he's ready to sell, to kind of retire, his family wanted somebody else to take it over. They asked Villa d'Este if we want to take it. So of course we do. And we're going to make 8 luxury apartments overlooking the lake in the city of Cernobbio, giving the services of Villa d'Este to those apartments as well. And I do have a couple of pictures to show you, so quite exciting, okay? And the beautiful Villa La Massa, they just finished the Villa La Massa Excellence. If you have clients into the young timers, sporty cars, that's what we just had the last weekend going on there. I'll start with the Palazzo Venezia. So, it used to be, it's still called Vista, operating today with the other owners. So officially we're taking it over on the 1st of December, 6th of December, you can, book the first night. As you can see, it has got a very, very particular design. You can see that kind of, arches, very particular and very familiar with Venice. And I'm sure all of you have been to Venice as well. So that explains why we wanted to add this extra value on property. And we decided to change the name to Palazzo Venezia because it does deserve it. Honestly, it does. It's one of the beautiful palaces actually of Como. This is how you see it. Those are the selection of pictures. We haven't done the photo shooting yet, but the property by previous owners was refurbished. In 2018 reopened for the public. So we're going to be doing some touches. We're going to do the rebranding because you probably know the property is a small luxury. It's going to be now from the opening a leading hotels of the world hotel. And we're going to do small retouches. Okay. But this is pretty much what you're looking at. Very boutique property, 18 bedrooms. Our booking and reservation team is already ready to take the bookings. Okay. For 2026. Actually from the 6th of December 2025. So if you have somebody coming into Como or even for the next season, let us know. And within my follow-up, and Lush is going to do the follow-up as well, we're going to give you all the contacts so you can start because it's a beautiful property and we're quite excited about it. Now the Miralago luxury apartments, because I'm going fast here, so hopefully you're going to have questions for later, but have to be respectful here. Beautiful property as well. So you can see how it's going to look like from, after the full refurbishment, which is full on right now. Official opening, it will be June next year. So you can imagine that we kind of full on with all the works. And this is how it's going to look like. Very clean, very beautiful, very lake oriented. It's all about taking the lake from outside and putting it inside of the property. Now, the actual architects and the interior designs are the daughters of the previous owner of Villa d'Este, Mr. Droulet. So if there is somebody on this call that is very familiar with the previous owners, shareholders of Villa d'Este who had the majority, the Droulet family is actually is refurbishing Miralago for us. So we have a great collaboration with them. They have a great understanding what the Villa d'Este is. And, they're going to try to transmit that in those beautiful luxury apartments, 8 of them. Okay, so this is all about the news, about the La Collezione, Villa d'Este La Collezione. And now just let me tell you a little bit more about the properties that you already know and a lot of you are very familiar with. So yeah, Lake Como, Villa d'Este, still busy, and you'll be delighted to know that as we speak, as today, which is the 23rd of October, it's still sunny and beautiful. Even though we had a little bit of a rain this morning, it's still sunny, it's still beautiful pictures, and you can still enjoy the property, and the hotel is pretty full. So that's of course great because the extension of the season, it means it does work. So there are people that they still want to come. They want to come when the lake is less busy, and it's great to see actually that movement on the lake as well. So just to remind everybody where we are, because as you remember and maybe attended other webinars of ours, it's important logistically where we are. So we're on the right side of the shore of the lake, and it is important because you get the sun all day long. So in the morning you see a beautiful sunrise, in the evening you see a beautiful sunset. So this is definitely the part of the lake that you want to have your clients on, and they would definitely definitely appreciate that. The property is quite extensive. That hasn't changed. So it's still busy, 8 tennis courts. We do have 4 of them covered now, just as a little reminder for the low season. In case of the rain, we do have 4 of them covered. So you can still play very well tennis. 2 buildings, just to remind you, it's been always 2 buildings. So since 153 years of being a luxury hotel, we have the Cardinal building with majority of the rooms, and the beautiful Queen's Pavilion, which was added historically a little bit later on with 27 rooms on there. Now, I updated a bit of the pictures to give you a feel of what the update of the property is about, so you can see that we try to make it very current, very fresh, looking very inviting, because, sometimes agents that they've been booking us for a long time, they kind of ask that question, oh, maybe it's a little tired, are you doing anything? Well, we do. We're changing the beds. It used to be originally a twin bedded hotel. Now we're changing some of the component of the inventory into the twin bedded rooms. So beautiful. But what I wanted to share with you, and I said that I'm going to have some news for you, this is the picture of the new suite. So the executive suite, 1 bedroom, made from scratch. It was literally stripped out. So you can imagine there was no walls. It was originally a bedroom and a junior suite joined into a 1 bedroom suite. Very, very nicely done indeed. So some original artwork, because we have a big collection of artwork here, some original furnitures, but the wooden floor. So you can see there are carpets, not the moquette. It's actually a carpet. This particular suite has a partial lake view. So it's not sold as a suite with a lake view because it is to the side of your balcony, but it's beautiful. It is. It has got a walk-in closet behind. You can see, that we kind of bringing a little bit of that freshness into that suite. So hopefully the refurbishment of Villa d'Este soon is going to be something that we're going to be able to confirm, because we're still waiting for the official okay if we're going to move on with this type of refurbishment and how we're going to start, how we're going to do it. No need to be worried. We're never going to close. So in case we're going to go ahead with this big project, it's going to be a partial refurbishment. So there's going to be a part of the hotel closed down and a part, that they're going to be fully refurbished. We lucky we have Queen's Pavilion. So probably this part is going to be firstly considered to go under the refurbishment. Now, villas, private villas, just to remind you as well that we have those beautiful villas going on property, very popular indeed, 6-bedroom, 4-bedroom villas. I updated some pictures just to give you an idea of the different angles of those properties. Very particular, very beautiful. But imagine you have a private villa for your client with all the services of Villa d'Este. That's what people, they dream of, because we are famous for the service. So if you can extend that service in a private villa that gives you a private experience, and more privacy that a lot of people want to pay for, you're definitely in the right place. Beautiful gardens. Not much has changed in the gardens. We maintain them as we do. Still beautiful. It's still standing there. Loads of inquiries for the weddings, and the parties are happening as well, and different concerts. So of course, a beautiful area. Imagine if you have a client that you want your client to propose. There is plenty of areas within the hotel that this can be arranged at no additional cost. Absolutely. So, a great choices in terms of the, culinary choices. So 3 restaurants, 2 bars fully operating, loads to offer, as you can see. Just to make you laugh, this carpet is just so Instagrammable that you don't have to tag us. If you take a picture here, if you're famous and you take a picture and you post it, people know where you are. So, a floating pool is still there. It's still very much in use, So, you wouldn't believe that until the other day, people were still sunbathing, okay, because we had a great weather. We do have indoor pool, just to remind some of you. And of course, experiences are very important. Remember about Kids Club, that we are this type of establishment that doesn't look like care about kids, but we do. We are the only hotel on the Lake Como that offers Kids Club complimentary. It has a Kids Club for the kids, which is important because, those are our future clients. 50% ratio, it's our repeat clients. So why would we not care for the children? Christmas. Are we ready for Christmas, ladies and gentlemen? So we started actually the preparation of the greenhouses. So in about 2 days, you know, I already seen we have an extension of our bar outside. It's not still completed, so I can't send you a pictures for it, but it's going to look very similar. So we already have the structure up and we're just working on a final tuning. We're going to be lighting up the property for Christmas. Chocolate room, it's still very much, you know, popular with their Royal Highness Panettone and all the Dolci Italiani. So, you know, it's definitely the place to be. This is another picture of the very cozy bar. So the extension of the bar, jazz nights in a nightclub. So I don't know how many of you knew about Villa d'Este having a nightclub back in the days, which is not operating at the moment, but we're still doing this, you know, during the festive for the jazz nights. The nights flambé, very French thing, a little bit like an old money world, you know, so a bit of an old world coming in back. Always fully booked those nights flambé, you know, those dinners flambé, fantastic. So all those activations are ready and they are just waiting there. So, you know, we're looking for another fantastic festive season at Villa d'Este. I cannot disclose the theme this year. So the pictures that you see are from last year. And then as soon as it's going to become official, you know, we do a big event with the lightening the Christmas lights. I will let you know, all of you, how the property looks like. So I can't disclose anything at the moment. And Villa La Massa, just to take you, you know, to another part of beautiful Italy, which is, you know, which is Florence. We are in a residential part of Florence, beautiful property, 54 keys, so much smaller than Villa d'Este. But, you know, some of you who are joining today, you are great supporters and you're doing a great job. So we thank you for this support, because Villa La Massa, it is a bit of a hidden gem, you know. So once you discover it, it's kind of clients that keep coming back. If you look at the reviews, our general manager, who's a lady, is a female, she's a female, you know, so she's managing the property to perfection, and there is no bad reviews of Villa La Massa. You know, we are only 14 minutes away from the Ponte Vecchio, so imagine where you are, Ponte Vecchio, and this is where Villa La Massa is. So you're giving your clients a little bit of kind of Florence, but you don't have the overwhelming Florence, you know, which is full of tourists, you know, sometimes overwhelming with the weather. We have this fantastic service of a complimentary shuttle service, and this year we even extended the timings until 11:30 in the evening. So imagine going to Florence for a little dinner, coming back, having wine, not worrying about parking the car or, you know, having a car at your disposal. You can just use our shuttle, which takes you comfortably between the hotel and the city center. Now, just to remind you, you know, and we're looking at some new pictures as well here. And with a follow-up, I'll send you some very beautiful and emotional new videos of both properties. Villa La Massa comes out, you know, beautifully at those, because it is 6 different buildings, you know, that come together beautifully for a beautiful experience for your clients. So, you know, each building had a different purpose back in the days, you know, which is important. The original house, the noble villa, was for the family to live there, which is a little bit more sophisticated in terms of the style. So, you know, we're looking at the one of the pictures here is from the actual villa, so the Villa Nobile, where the reception is. But some other pictures, for example, this one is my favorite Villino, which is a little bit more romantic, you know, it's a bit more romantic, and it gives you the feel that you are actually in Florence. Those are also new pictures, but, you know, the property, some of you know the property very well. This is a picture from a junior suite that the David Bowie had his honeymoon with Iman. So, you know, very particular, one of a kind, beautiful windows, as you can see. But this is all just to remind you that this property is marvelous. It's particular, it's beautiful. It has got a lot to offer. It's definitely a great value for your clients. You're not in a city center, but you're so close to the city center of Florence that you can easily sell that property to your clients and they will love it, because there is no complaints about this property. Okay. So we also have a private villas over here. So we're looking at the Casa Colonica. This is actually the picture of our bar, which is very Instagrammable indeed. Verrocchio, one of the restaurants which is overlooking at the Arno River, because that's where we are located. So imagine you having a breakfast, you know, you waking up to this. It's beautiful. And then Oliveto by the pool. Beautiful bar, as I said. And then, this is what I'm talking about. This is what you definitely want to give to your clients. Imagine if they have teenage kids or no kids, but they want to have a pool, because if they're coming in a summer to Tuscany or to Florence, they will want to refresh. And I can guarantee you that. And the pool is a great, tick off for one of the things they might not ask you, but I can guarantee you that if you pull this out, okay, out of your sleeve, they will love you forever, because this is something that you don't ask when you go to Florence, or maybe if you're a first timer, but that's something that you definitely need once you understand how hot Florence can get, okay, in the summertime. Those are the beautiful grounds, okay, just to give you an idea again where we are. We are more into the olive groves, okay, rather than the actual grapes, but we are on a Chianti kind of region where it starts. So just to give you an idea what's doable, imagine this picture was taken because one of our clients asked us to have like a savage garden dinner for a family, and we kind of put it together in no time, and they actually had a private dinner in the gardens, and it looks stunning, because that's what Tuscany, that's what Florence is about. So I'm going to be kind of closing with this, and hopefully I kind of made you a little bit more aware what's new, what's happening, what's out there. And then if you need anything, that the Lush team can update you in no time difference. I do have a little bit of a time difference being based in property at Villa d'Este, but we will be delighted to help you with any questions you might have. So feel free. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. That was amazing and pretty exciting, all those updates. I can't wait and to start selling it. So listen, we have a couple questions here.
Go
With
ahead.
in regard to Palazzo Venezia, how many rooms
Mhm.
will that be?
18. So it's 18 rooms, is very tiny, 18 rooms and suites altogether. It's quite exciting. But the only thing is that we have only 3 suites. There are some junior suites, but the suites are actually the ones they can accommodate the third bed. I would say this
Mhm.
property is very well positioned for couples. If you have maybe a couples with one kid or teenage kid, or a couple with a small kid, because cot is not a problem, extra bed is quite limited, so we only have about 3 options within the property to put an extra bed, but it's beautiful. So very tiny, very particular, and bespoke service, and there's going to be
Amazing.
a how no extension of how know-how from Villa d'Este. So you can experience definitely a service of Villa d'Este there.
Okay. And then somebody was saying that they could not see Palazzo Venezia listed in the GDS. Is it been added or will it be added?
It will be added. Unfortunately, we will be visible only the moment that we kind of taking it over from the 1st of December. So what I would say, I would be happily sharing with you the reservation email and also the website of Palazzo Venezia. And you can make the bookings at the moment directly with us. The GDS is going to be available the moment Synexus is on. And, and that's going to be unfortunately from December. So the moment we take over physically the property.
Okay. And now in regards to Miralago, how many apartments are going to be there?
8 apartments.
Eight
Eight
apartments.
apartments. So
And
it's
up to how many
basically.
bedrooms?
Well, we're gonna do now. This is the interesting part, okay? Because it's 8 apartments, 2 apartments on each floor. Okay, so now we also kind of thinking very strategically about how we sell them, because as you know, on the first floor you're going to have a probably, I mean, that's what I can see from the project, a little balcony, and that's great to enjoy because you see the lake. On the last floor you can see a little bit more of the lake, right?
Mhm.
And the size of the windows might also vary from the first floor to the last floor. But now how we're going to sell them, that each floor will have 2 apartments, one 2-bedroom apartment and one 1-bedroom apartment. Okay, so actually you can kind of interconnect them as well, or you can kind of just kind of leave it as a 1-bedroom. And there is this component in the middle that it's going to be connecting to one or the other apartment. That's how we kind of thought to kind of
Okay.
place it.
So it'll be
It
up to
is,
3 bedrooms total?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So on one floor. Now, we actually think what's going to happen, each apartment is going to have a dedicated team. We don't call them butlers. I think there is a word now that everybody uses, lifestyle manager. I think that's
Hmm.
what who we're going to have. So it's not so much of a butler, but there's going to be a dedicated team to help this the clients to kind of enjoy the property. So there's going to be a kitchenette, so there is a possibility you can have dinners in the apartment, or if you want to, you have a preferential line for our outlets at Villa d'Este. So there is
Hmm.
also an idea of sharing the services of Villa d'Este. So if the clients of Miralago apartments want to use the pool, they can use the pool of Villa d'Este and have the free access there. Now, logistically, it's a walking distance because it's very close. It's about 5 minutes walk between Miralago to the gate of Villa d'Este. We also thinking about different ways, maybe having a boat that can take you from Cernobbio Piazza in front of the Miralago to the Villa d'Este. So there are still ways. There's going to be fine tuning. You just have to bear with us, but definitely it's exciting. And the officially we think in June we're going to be ready for the opening, but you're not going to be able yet to kind of find the reservation. You can still make it directly with us, but it's not visible yet through the systems, and you just have to bear with us, I'm afraid, on those. But I'm so excited about it too, because they speeded up all the works. Originally it's supposed to be at the end of next year, and now we know everything is going pretty fast, which is shocking for Italian reality, that we actually speeding up. Usually there is somebody who's stopping you because you can't obtain some permits. We're doing pretty well, so
Right.
that's very encouraging indeed.
Wonderful. So I'm going to switch over to Villa d'Este now because I have a question here. You mentioned concerts at Villa d'Este. Where can they find information about May, June arrivals and possible concerts?
Okay, so as you know, we have those kind of institutional summer parties. So summer parties are pretty much fixed on the 4th of July, which is the American Independence. There is also 14th of July for the Bastille Day, and usually there is a 15th of August. Now, this year there has been, there is no official update yet on the concert. We're thinking about having something big, but it's difficult to have something as big as Bocelli. So, there has been a few artists in a draw, and it's not official yet. So the moment that we're going to know a little bit more about when is it happening and who is it going to be, you're going to be definitely the ones to know that. And we're going to, obviously, we learn as well a little bit more from how the Bocelli sold out, how fast it went the moment we published the information. So we also have to be a little bit safer this year, because we want to give the same opportunity to trade and the same opportunity to you agents, so you can sell it to your clients before the actual madness starts with a simple post on the internet, so on the Instagram. So yes, you have to stay tuned on that one, and it's not official yet. I can't, to be honest with you, I mean, can you believe it? It's so secretive that nobody knows who is in talking for this concert. So it's going to be a big figure, but exciting.
Yeah, very
Unfortunately, you have to
exciting.
wait for the updates. So no
All
news yet,
right.
I'm afraid.
Super exciting. Can't wait to hear. Okay, so another Tracy Heslin had asked, she was trying to look at Villa Massa for a family, but it is listed as closed down on a random Friday, April 10th. So
April 10th.
is there a reason
Okay.
why that might be?
On top of my head, I can't tell you, but there might be a
Okay.
buyout. Okay, there might be a
Perhaps,
possible
yeah.
buyout, that the date has been closed because perhaps, or there is already contract stage for a wedding, or it
Hmm.
could be some kind of a buyout. I'm not gonna lie to you. For Villa La Massa being a small property, it's very popular. This year we did
Right.
5 buyouts. So so we actually had a birthday, we had a couple of weddings, we have a couple of incentives. It is possible, but I would have to look up the date just to give you a little bit more information, if it's something that it's already confirmed, or maybe something that is going ahead. I would imagine the date is closed for a reason. So there must be a reason, because the property opens on the 2nd of April. So,
Hmm.
I have to get back to you on that.
Okay. Let's just see if there are any other questions and check really quick. Okay. What price point are you going to start at for high season?
Which property?
She doesn't list it. I'm
Okay.
guessing Villa d'Este?
Okay. Well, you know, the price
Ah,
point,
Palazzo
yeah.
Venezia. That's what she had
Okay.
asked. Yeah.
Yeah, Palazzo Venezia is actually a very interesting cookie, tough cookie, because you know the way how we're going to be positioning it, you know, considering that you know we kind of know what the prices were, you know how they selling the property. I would say, you know, just to give you some ideas that you know, of course, you probably the most important part, you know, for you guys is probably the high season. This is what everybody is kind of looking at, and definitely July. I would say June, July, August, September. Those are the key months for the property. I would say that from 600 euros up, you can probably find something. I'm talking about, you know, I'm talking about the entry level, but you know, you would be probably surprised because, of course, you know, the suites are, you know, whatever we sell here at Villa d'Este, to give you an idea, a junior suite with a lake view at Villa d'Este can go up to 4,000 euros a night with a, you know, with a little balcony and things like that. Of course, the prices are very different when we're talking about the city hotel like Como. So we're going to be and consider that Palazzo Venezia is the only five-star hotel at the moment operating and open in a city. So you know, so also becoming leading, becoming all the virtuoso that we're aiming for. This is not official yet, but you know, just so you know that I'm in talks, you know, for that. We're going to do everything we can to join those networks. You know, the value, the service, everything that we're adding on top of it. I would say that we would start from that, but bear in mind that this property has got very few bedrooms. You know, I mean, you have few level, entry level, and then you're already passing to a deluxe, and you're passing to another category, premium, and then junior suite. But it's a very doable price if you have somebody who's got a lower price, because of
Amazing.
course the establishments on the lake, they very expensive and the prices went up. And you know, I'm aware of the fact that also Villa d'Este put their prices up, and demand is crazy, and there is no rate resistance. Okay, so you know, I'm not saying that this is in favor for us, but there is no rate resistance, you know. So of course, what it creates a little bit of a bubble. And you know, I think this Palazzo Venezia is going to be a great alternative for the ones
Sure.
they've got still a healthy budget, but you don't have decent 5 or 4 star properties, you know. So that will definitely help out. And I'll keep you posted on those, because you know, who knows, I don't know if we're starting with the promotions or not. It's only 18 bedrooms, so I would
Hmm.
imagine it's going to be not so difficult to sell prime location
Yeah,
there.
for sure. Then there's a second question asking you for pricing parameters for the apartments for July 2026.
Sorry, pricing you mentioned.
Parameters like one
Okay.
bedroom versus two bedroom.
Okay. Okay. So this is something I won't be able to help you at the moment, because I know there are some intensive discussions about the
Hmm.
pricing and the levels of the pricing. So that's something that I'm afraid today I won't be able to update you. But the moment we have those information, you know, the price point, I know it's important because you have to understand, you know, the budget of your clients. Then I will be back for that. You know, at the moment, it's very hard to say, because the prices that have been mentioned to me internally, they do vary between what our CEO thinks they worth and what the revenue tells you and what the sales thinks that they should be sold at. So just stay tuned on that. Okay,
Okay,
please.
sounds good. Now for Villa La Massa, do you offer any tours of Tuscany or do you only just offer the shuttle service? Are you
We
there
offer the shuttle service, and you
till
know, I
11:30
mean,
p.m.?
exactly, until the
Hmm.
evening, late evening. I mean, the drivers are locals. They speak English very well. Sometimes you can actually find out very interesting bits, you know, while they're driving you, because it is 15 minutes drive. They don't have a proper scheduled tours, so we don't do that. We can arrange it, but it
Hmm.
wouldn't be, you know, a service that we're offering. What we doing, and it's very popular, that I wanted to mention, you know, the cooking classes. Our cooking classes are very, very appreciated by a lot of the guests. A lot of mom, daughter kind of experiences, you know, with the easy pasta making, something they can take home, the experience I'm talking about, rather than going to a fancy cooking school in Florence that cost a fortune. They really appreciate that. So that's something that, you know, I would say if you want to do it on property, is definitely worth doing it. So that's what would be my mentioning on that.
Okay. This is not a question, it's some love, actually. It says that she had clients that stayed at Villa La Massa this summer and they were over the moon happy with their stay. They were repeat guests, and they said it was a relaxing place with beautiful suites. They love the convenience of the shuttle to town to Florence. Yeah,
Oh,
it
thank you
is.
so
It is
much.
quite
That
special.
somebody else is selling for me. Who's that? Thank you so much.
It was Lainey Show.
Oh, thank you
Um,
so much.
yeah. Does Villa Lama, we already answered that one. The Palazzo Venezia, we already answered that one. I'm sorry. Let's see what else we have here. Do the apartments share amenities with other properties?
Um, Amenities with other properties. What would you mean by that?
I guess maybe Villa d'Este.
I mean, what it is, that obviously once then it's decided officially, then you're going to know about it. But what we're discussing at the moment is sharing certain services. So, for example, access to the sporting club, it's a great sporting club, having the same access to the guest relations team, booking
Mhm.
our boats, our restaurants, using our concierge service. That's definitely something that we're going to be guaranteeing for the Miralago apartments, luxury apartments. We want to extend that Villa d'Este feel and that kind of service, so it would kind of flow into, because we already have villas. You've seen from the presentation, they a short walk. I mean, if you can just add 5 more minutes, you've got another luxury villa basically, and you're just walking
Yeah.
on property and you can enjoy pretty much the access, because the property is not so accessible. I don't want to sound we're not open, we do, but being a guest and being a guest of our other sister properties, like for example, we at the moment discussing internally, so don't quote me literally at the moment because I'm going to have to deny. I know we have a video here, but we discussing the possibility also of the guests from Palazzo Venezia maybe having some preferential routes booking services at Villa d'Este, like our restaurants, and possibly the access to the pool. So that's already something, that it's great, because you kind of extending something very exclusive to to few more. So that's what the
Mhm.
apartments can kind of expect. Stay tuned on Palazzo Venezia, because that's where we are at the moment discussing those possibilities.
Okay, great. For Villa La Massa, for a buyout, how many guests can be accommodated overnight?
So we have 54 keys. So you can imagine that, if it's double occupancy, okay, we're talking about 110. Some of the bedrooms, they can take a cot, they can have an extra bed. What I would say comfortably for food and beverage, if we talking about also having dinner, some kind of, internal celebrations, I would say about 120 guests. It's a very comfortable number. So it's actually a cozy property, honestly.
And she would like an idea of like a nightly rate during high season.
Well, it depends with the buyout for the Villa La Massa if we would consider, because July we don't tend to do this. June is also a little bit more difficult to do this, but I can give you an idea. For example, a 60,000 euros per night for all the bedrooms in not the peak season. So I would say that we can do something, definitely May, beginning of June, perhaps the second part of September. October is a beautiful month as well. It's super rich, with the food in Tuscany. So I would say that would be per night for all the bedrooms. And then there's going to be some minimum requirement on F&B, but not large, so don't expect like a huge requirement from our part. 60,000 euros, it's very doable,
Mhm.
for 54 keys.
Awesome. All right. I think we've answered all of our questions, Natalia. So we're
Okay.
about finished, but those are some
Thank you
exciting
so much.
updates. And I'm really glad to see you. And thank you everyone for joining us. It was very informative and we have a lot of exciting news. So thanks for being with us so that we can share it with you.
Thank
Till
you.
next time.
Okay.